The Tomb of Gilgamesh. Has the legendary king of Uruk been found? For thousands of years, the story of Gilgamesh has fascinated historians, archaeologists, and readers around the world. Gilgamesh is the central figure of the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest surviving works of literature. Ancient Mesopotamian tradition describes him as a powerful king of Uruk, an important Sumerian city located in what is now Iraq. But was Gilgamesh simply a legendary character, or was he a real king whose tomb could still be buried beneath the ancient landscape of Mesopotamia? The possibility became especially intriguing in the early 2000s when archaeological research around Uruk generated international headlines about the possible location of Gilgamesh's tomb. Who was Gilgamesh? Gilgamesh appears in ancient Mesopotamian tradition as the king of Uruk. The Epic of Gilgamesh tells the story of Gilgamesh and his companion Enkidu and explores friendship, power, death, grief, and humanity's desire for immortality. In the epic, Gilgamesh is portrayed as an extraordinary figure whose adventures eventually force him to confront a reality no human being can escape: death. Although the epic contains mythology and supernatural elements, Gilgamesh may have been based on a historical ruler. The Sumerian king list includes a ruler named Gilgamesh among the kings of Uruk. However, separating the historical king from the legendary hero remains extremely difficult. The search for Gilgamesh's tomb. One of the most interesting developments occurred during archaeological research at the ancient city of Uruk. A German-led team used geophysical surveying techniques to examine structures hidden beneath the ground without excavating the entire site. The surveys revealed previously unknown features of the ancient city, including canals, buildings, and other structures. Researchers became particularly interested in an unusual structure located in what appeared to have once been part of the Euphrates River system. Why was this significant? Because an ancient Mesopotamian story concerning the death of Gilgamesh describes a burial associated with the Euphrates. The similarity was intriguing enough that researchers discussed the possibility that the structure could be connected with the legendary king. Was the tomb actually found? This is where an important distinction needs to be made. No confirmed tomb of Gilgamesh has been discovered. The archaeological surveys identified an intriguing structure that appeared consistent with certain elements of ancient literary descriptions. That is very different from excavating a tomb and identifying its occupant as Gilgamesh. There has been no widely accepted archaeological discovery of human remains, inscriptions, grave goods, or other evidence establishing this is the tomb of Gilgamesh. The discovery should therefore be described as a possible location or archaeological lead, not the confirmed discovery of Gilgamesh's burial place. Why would Gilgamesh have been buried near a river? An ancient composition commonly known as the Death of Gilgamesh contains a remarkable description of the king's burial. The story has been interpreted as describing the diversion of the Euphrates so that Gilgamesh could be buried within or beneath the riverbed before the water was allowed to return. If this tradition preserves any historical memory, finding a major burial structure in an ancient river channel near Uruk would naturally attract attention. However, ancient literature cannot automatically be treated as an archaeological map. Stories can preserve memories of real people and places while also accumulating legendary and religious elements over centuries. Gilgamesh, history and legend. This is what makes the search so fascinating. Gilgamesh exists at the intersection of history, archaeology, and mythology. There are several possibilities. A historical ruler named Gilgamesh may have ruled Uruk and later became the subject of increasingly legendary stories. Alternatively, the literary Gilgamesh may combine memories of a historical king with myths and traditions that developed long after his lifetime. Either way, his story became enormously influential. The quest for immortality. There is also something deeply symbolic about modern people searching for Gilgamesh's tomb. Much of the Epic of Gilgamesh concerns humanity's fear of death. After losing Enkidu, Gilgamesh becomes terrified of his own mortality and searches for a way to escape death. He ultimately learns that human beings cannot possess physical immortality, yet thousands of years later, people are still saying his name. His city is still being studied. His story is still being translated. Archaeologists are still searching for evidence of the man behind the legend. In that sense, Gilgamesh achieved a different kind of immortality. Could the tomb still be found? Possibly, ancient Mesopotamia continues to reveal extraordinary archaeological discoveries, and modern technologies can identify buried structures without immediately excavating them. Future archaeological work at Uruk could provide new evidence concerning the city's rulers and monumental structures. Perhaps researchers will someday discover an inscription identifying the burial place of Gilgamesh. Perhaps the mysterious structure will turn out to belong to someone else. Or perhaps the king's true burial place will remain hidden. Until physical evidence provides an answer, the responsible conclusion remains. Archaeologists have not confirmed the discovery of Gilgamesh's tomb. What they have discovered are tantalizing clues beneath the ancient city traditionally associated with him. And that mystery may be even more fascinating. Gilgamesh spent his legendary life searching for immortality. Thousands of years later, humanity is still searching for Gilgamesh.